Our next topic is points and lines. So the goal here is we're going to want to be able to graph points and also graph lines. Before we start graphing, we need to figure out what is a Cartesian plane. And you've probably heard of this before. Sometimes you'll call this an XY plane. So XY plane is also another name for this. Sometimes you'll see it as a bold R squared. They all mean this plane. So the way this plane is set up is you're going to have a horizontal axis and you're also going to have a vertical axis. So here's your horizontal, here's your vertical. For the horizontal, we label it X. For the vertical, we label that Y. You have an origin right here in the middle, and that's kind of where everything is centered. The way that we lay this out, it's very much like latitude and longitude on the Earth. We have these lines, and it tells us where to go left and right, and then also where to go up and down. So we'll have a coordinate. The coordinates are X comma Y. So X means go in the X direction, Y means go in the Y direction. So X, left and right, Y, up and down. Negative for an X means go left, positive for an X means go right, positive for a Y means go up, negative for a Y means go down. So here you can see the quadrants. We have quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. So if you're going to graph some sort of dot, you can label it as being in one of the quadrants or on one of the axes. So whenever you do this, just remember it goes counterclockwise. So let's graph some points. For my first point, A, is negative 1, comma 2. So that means X, remember this is X, comma Y. I'm going to go negative 1 in the X direction. So negative 1 means start at the origin and then go left to negative 1. Then I'll go positive 2 in the Y direction. So positive 2 means go up. So here is your point A. Next, I'm going to do 0, 3. So the X direction for 0 means don't go left or right, just stay there. So there's my 0. Then 3 means go in the positive Y direction 3. So there's my point, and there's B. Next we'll do C. So C says in the X direction go positive 2. So I'm starting here at the origin. I go over to 2. Then it says minus 3. So I'll go down 3. 1, 2, 3. So right there is my point C. And lastly, my point D. So this says start at the origin, go negative 3, so to the left 3, and then don't go up or down. So that 0 means don't go up and down. So there's my point D. We should also be able to graph lines using points, and the way we can do that is by making a table. So I'll start with, when x is equal to 0, what is y? So when x is equal to 0, my equation is y is 2 times 0 minus 3. 2 times 0 is 0, so I get 0 minus 3, which is minus 3. So there's 1 point on my line, 0 minus 3. So I'm going to go over here and graph that. So 0 minus 3 is down here on the y-axis. Next, I can pick another point. I'm going to go ahead and choose when x equals 1. So when x equals 1, what is my y value? Looks like it'll be 2 times 1 minus 3. I'm just putting a 1 in place of the x. So 2 times 1 is 2. Subtract 3, that gives me minus 1. So there's another point. So that point would be x is 1, y is negative 1. So there's my other point. Once you get 2 points, your line is fully decided. You just connect those 2 points. I'm going to try to do this. It's kind of hard. But there's my line. So there's the line 2x minus 3. You can just pick a couple points. You only have to have 2. Once you find 2 points, then you're fully done.